Crisp and buttery with a jammy filling, thumbprints are a simple yet elegant cookie that are super easy to make. Always use softened butter, but not too soft. When you press it, it should indent and give a little bit of resistance. It should be between 65 to 67 degrees, just below room temperature. This is going to prevent the cookies from spreading. Properly cream the butter and sugar. Add 8 ounces of softened butter, 2/3 cup of granulated sugar. Use the paddle attachment. Mix on medium-low speed until light and fluffy, about 1 minute. When properly creamed, the butter is going to trap some air, creating a really tender cookie. But don't overmix or it will deflate. Don't use cold eggs. Make sure they're at room temperature so that they incorporate really easily into the other ingredients. Add 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Mix on medium speed. Scrape the bowl down halfway through. We want to make sure that the eggs are completely incorporated with the butter. Mix for another 30 seconds. Do not dump in all your flour at one time. We're going to add in 3 additions. Stir it together on low just until hydrated. Add the second addition. Adding the flour in separate additions prevents the cookies from getting really tough because you're going to need longer time to mix it all together, creating more gluten and tougher cookies. Do not overmix, everything should just come together. Yes, this is the texture you want. The dough should look like Play-Doh and easily combine together. The great thing about this cookie dough is you can start shaping and baking right away, as long as the butter is still cool. This is also great if you want to make it ahead of time. You can place it in the refrigerator for up to 7 days. I've found that about 1 tablespoon of dough makes the perfect size for thumbprint cookies. If the dough feels tacky, you could just add a little bit of flour to your hands and then roll in between your palms, just like making meatballs. This is about 1 1/4 inch in size. Transfer to a parchment paper lined sheet pan. Let's shape the rest of the dough. Place them about 2 inches apart. Typically a large baking sheet can fit 12. Now that the cookies are rolled out, it's time to make that characteristic indent. Use your thumb to press straight down into the dough, making a little pocket to catch the jam. You want the cookies to flatten to about 1.5 inches in diameter, so just use your fingertips to press the surface if needed. The indent should be big enough so that it could hold a 1/2 teaspoon of filling. You've also got other options. Use the bottom of a spoon to make the indent. This is going to give really clean and even wells. Or grab a 1/4 teaspoon measuring spoon. Press the bottom of the spoon into the top of the cookie dough, making a little well. Now you're ready to fill. I like to use jam because it has some texture with a little bit of chunks of fruit. Or if you want a really smooth consistency, add spread or jelly. Because there's pectin in the jam, it's going to be really thick, so you want to stir it so it's easy to pipe into the cookie. If you're using preserves or marmalade, make sure to strain it before you add it to the filling because you don't want really big chunks of fruit. Add just enough so that it goes slightly over the edge. Or you could add the filling to some piping bags. I prefer this method if I'm using a thicker filling or I'm making a lot of cookies. This just goes by so much faster. Bake the cookies at 350 degrees, 1 sheet at a time, for about 12 to 14 minutes. Wow, these look gorgeous. The cookies are ready when they're dry on the surface and set on the edges. They're not going to be golden brown in color because there's no baking soda or baking powder to accelerate the browning. So they should be this nice, even pale color. Let the cookies sit on the baking sheet for about 5 minutes, then transfer it to a wire rack to cool. Although it may be tempting to eat the cookies when they're warm, they taste better when they're actually cooled down. The butter and the sugar get to melt together and solidify, giving you a really buttery, crumbly, and snappy texture. Thumbprint cookies can be stored in an airtight container at room temperature for up to 7 days, or you can freeze them for up to 3 months.
Hey Mom, did you make cookies for Santa?
Oh no! Let's go! Let's make some fun and festive cookies for Santa. I'm going to use 2 types of sprinkles, these green sanding sugars, and round sprinkles. Roll the dough ball into the sprinkles. Now roll it in the sugar. Add the indent with your thumb. Add about a 1/2 teaspoon of filling to each cookie. I'm using strawberry jam. Bake at 350 degrees for about 12 to 14 minutes. Woo! The cookies are ready. That was a close one. I think Santa and Mrs. Claus are gonna love these.
Ooh, those look good.
Hey, those are for Santa! I love a classic thumbprint cookie, but you know what? This year, let's switch things up. With Nutella. If you're using raw hazelnuts, just toast it for a few minutes over medium heat to bring out the flavor and add more crunch. Ooh, these smell good. Time to chop them up. Chop the hazelnuts into really small pieces. Roll each of the cookie dough balls into the chopped nuts. Use your thumb to add the wells. Use your finger to flatten the surface a little bit so that it's 1.5 inches in diameter. Fill with about a half teaspoon of Nutella. Dip your finger in a little bit of water and push down on the tops to remove the little tails. Bake at 350 degrees for about 12 to 14 minutes. Wow, these are amazing! To switch up the nutty coating, try almonds, pecans, or pistachios. Other filling options you can add are chocolate ganache or caramel with a little sprinkle of sea salt. These have been sitting on the warm sheet tray for about 5 minutes. Now I'm going to transfer them to a wire rack to cool completely. Now that you know how to make perfect thumbprint cookies, what filling would you add? Leave a comment below. For the full recipe, go to my website, jessicagavin.com. Happy baking!